Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're tearing up the old corporate playbook. Seriously, we're going to find a new source of inspiration for innovation, and it comes from some of the most creative geniuses to ever pick up a basketball. So let's just jump right in with a huge question, one that works whether you're building a company or trying to win a title. How do you really, truly become a legend? Well, the answer is actually simpler than you might think. You don't get there by just running the same old play as everyone's been using forever. You don't win by making tiny, safe improvements. The real win, it comes when you become an artist, someone who doesn't just play the game, but completely changes how it's played. And today, we're going to break down 5 absolute legends who did exactly that. All right, so think of this as your new training camp. We're going to dive deep into the unique genius of 5 basketball masters, and we're going to map their genius right onto some powerful, ready-to-use strategies you can put to work tomorrow. Okay, first up, let's talk about our pioneers. These are the guys who saw the future before anyone else, and you know what? They weren't afraid to go out and build it. First on the list is the one and only Pistol Pete Maravich. Now, if you don't know the name, just picture the flashiest, most creative guards playing today. Got it? Okay, now imagine someone doing all that, the no-look dimes, the behind-the-back dribbles, the deep threes, but doing it back in the 1970s. I mean, come on, that was Pistol Pete. So what was his secret? Radical imagination. And this gets to the heart of the difference between just improving something and totally reinventing it. Pistol Pete wasn't just trying to pass better, he was literally inventing a whole new language of basketball. So how do you actually use this? It's a killer method called the Zero Gravity Workshop. For one meeting, you and your team get together and just erase all the rules. No budget, no tech problems, no nothing. Your only job is to design the absolute perfect, maybe even impossible solution. Once you have that vision, then and only then, you start working backward to see which parts you can actually build today. It forces you to think beyond small tweaks and aim for something truly new. Keeping with this idea of being a disruptor, let's move on to our next pioneer. This guy wasn't just an athlete, he was a cultural earthquake. Of course, I'm talking about Allen Iverson, the answer. Iverson's superpower was fearless individualism. I mean, this is the guy who never ever asked for permission. He brought his authentic self to a league that wasn't ready for it and proved you could dominate on your own terms. In the business world, this is about having the guts to speak the truth when everyone else is just nodding along to be polite. You know that meeting. So how do you channel your inner AI? You run an unspoken rule audit. Every single company has these. You know, the project the boss loves that everyone knows is a dud, or that process you only do because, well, that's how we've always done it. Your move is to be the person who respectfully but directly asks why. And this quote right here, bet on yourself. It says it all. Iverson changed the game with his business deals, too. Instead of just taking a flat fee, he would bet on his own impact. It's like telling a client, look, don't pay me my usual fee. Just give me a cut, say 10% of whatever new money my idea makes for you. That is the ultimate power move. Okay, so we've got our pioneers, the ones who shattered the mold. But innovation isn't always about blowing things up from the outside. Sometimes the real artistry happens inside the system. And we're going to look at 2 masters who did just that. One who did it with a dose of beautiful chaos, and another who did it with absolute total control. And here they are. Manu Ginobili, the heart and soul of those Spurs teams, and Nikola Jokic, the point center wizard from Denver. These 2 are like 2 sides of the same incredible coin. Okay, so Manu's game was all about agile innovation. He was the spark of pure, wonderful chaos in the middle of that super disciplined Spurs machine. And his signature move, the Eurostep, is the perfect metaphor for business. Think about it. It's the art of changing direction at full speed without losing your momentum. So your move? Build Eurostep moments right into your projects. Instead of some rigid year-long plan, you have checkpoints where the team is not just allowed, but expected to pivot based on what you've learned. It's not failure, it's a Eurostep. Now, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum from Manu's chaos, you've got Nikola Jokic. He's all about total control through what we're calling holistic systems thinking. He looks like he's playing in slow motion, but his brain is seeing the whole court, 3 moves ahead of everyone else. In business, this is the leader who understands how everything connects. They're the one who finally connects those 2 teams that should have been talking all along. Your move is to be that person. Seriously, schedule a weekly cross-court pass meeting. Get people from different teams in a room together. You will be shocked by what comes out of it. So we've got our pioneers, we've got our system builders. But What happens when the clock is winding down, when the pressure is on and everything is on the line? You need a closer. You need a finisher. And that artist is Kyrie Irving. People will argue about a lot of things, but almost everyone agrees he has the deepest, most creative bag of moves in the history of the game. A true master. And this brings us to a really important idea. Kyrie's skill isn't just about big picture strategy. It's about creative execution, right here, right now. It's about when a business constraint, we have no budget, or we need to buy Friday, shuts down plan A, you need a plan B, and a plan C. That's what having a deep bag is all about. So here's your move. Start building your own Uncle Drew's skills stack. What does that mean? It means don't just be the ideas person. Learn the actual technical skills. Learn to spin up a quick website, visualize some data, write a good AI prompt. When you can actually build the first version of your idea yourself, you become unstoppable in any meeting. Okay, this has been awesome. We've looked at 5 incredible archetypes. But you might be wondering, how do you actually train your brain to think this way, to connect basketball to business? Well, it's not magic. There's actually a name for it. It's a really powerful cognitive tool called analogical reasoning. You're basically learning to ignore the surface stuff, basketballs and hoops, and instead you look for the deeper pattern, the hidden logic that connects 2 totally different worlds. And this right here, this is the formula. It's a 3-step process. First, you deconstruct the athlete. Don't just say Jokic is a good passer. No, define the pattern. He's a system elevator. He makes the whole team better. Step 2, you map that pattern over to your world. Where in your business do you need a system elevator? Oh, right, in those departments that don't talk to each other. And then, step 3, you find that shared concept. It's not about basketballs or spreadsheets. It's about connection. It's about elevation. See? It's a formula you can use for anything. So there you have it, the full playbook. We've got the pioneers, the system builders, the finisher. We've even given you the secret weapon, analogical reasoning, so you can find these connections yourself. The playbook is officially in your hands. So now the only question that matters is, what's your first move?